We're going to head back to work. Our next speaker is Representative Jeff Shipley. Please give him a big round of applause.
Well, thank you, Bree. It's great to see so many of my fellow Iowans out here today. It's great to see so many people who care about our state, our nation, care about our communities, care about ourselves, our children. It's a beautiful day. Feels good to be out of quarantine, huh? I was getting pretty holed up in there. I thought I was going to have to watch our nation die from the seat of my couch. I was waiting for the Netflix special, The Death of a Once Great Nation. No, we're not going to let America die. That's why we're here today. But make no mistake, the spirit of our nation, the spirit of freedom and liberty, our own spirit, our own souls are on the line here. And what will we tolerate? There's a lot of questions we need to ask. I don't think anyone knows what's going on. Certainly not in this building does anyone know what's going on. But, I mean, where do we begin? I'm not going to be governed by unsubstantiated health theories. All right, I'll just start with that. And I don't know. I don't know what to do anymore, but just laugh at it. If you go in there, you'll see a lot of lawmakers, the men and women we've elected to lead our state into health and prosperity and freedom. They're covering their faces with a plastic face shield. I don't understand this. I mean, I remember hearing a few months ago that by the time Memorial Day, these coronaviruses, they don't survive well in the summer. All respiratory illnesses are alleviated when the good weather comes out. But some people are so terrified that they want a thin plastic shield separating their face from the rest of the world. And looking ridiculous aside, I just don't understand the scientific validation of some of these things. Seems to me like a lot of in-group virtue signaling than really anything that has to do with promoting the public health. That it seems there just to be this professional political class that just wants them to know they're better than us. You know, wants them to know that they're healthier than us, that they're smarter, that they can make our decisions for us. Well, we've heard a lot about freedom today, and it can't be said enough that in America, when our governing institutions fail to meet and respect basic human dignity, it's our right to alter and abolish them. It's not just our right, it's our duty, it's our responsibility, it's our obligation that if these government institutions are not respecting the God-given freedom of each and every Iowan, they must be altered and abolished. That is our responsibility as human beings. And that's what we must do if we're to remain free people. A lot of important questions, not just about the virus. What does it mean to be a human being? What does it mean to be a free person? What does it mean to be a child of God? What does it mean? What does it mean? Is it a human being when someone who's sick, one of our sick people, we're just going to lock them up in quarantine, throw them on a ventilator, and not even pray for them, just wait for them to die and languish while our healthcare system does nothing? This isn't about health, people. You know this, right? They told us it was all about ventilators back in March, and then we learned that ventilators were killing people. And they want us to not question them, to just take every single thing they say without question. And anyone who dares point out the blatant hypocrisy, a fourth grader can see the contradiction of these public health mandates. You know, it doesn't take a genius to realize, oh, we can't go to school, we can't go to church. Well, shopping at Walmart's fine. This makes sense. I can't get my hair cut by a friend or a neighbor, but, you know, it's great to spend $4 trillion bailing out corporations. Yeah, let's talk about looting, right? And that's the thing. I mean, the nation is moving. That's clear. People are upset. A lot of people are on edge. And unfortunately, the spiritual and moral decay is out there. It's just weakness, right? I mean, who would have thought really that we would be so weak that we would just give up our freedom without even questioning it? You know, I mean, communist China barely had to lean on us at all, and we just throw our hands up and surrender. But this is it. Are we going to let our country die to some botched biological weapon, right? No, we're going to ask questions, and we want to know. The people deserve to know. We can handle the truth. We want a discussion about communist China and their system of government and whether or not they are an evil on the face of the earth. We want to know about the Wuhan laboratory. We want to know who's been experimenting with these viruses, right? Yeah, let's get Fauci in front of Congress. Let's ask him some questions, right? But no, it's real, and I'm just so glad to be here around sane people, people who can look out in the world and actually understand what's going on, because that's, I guess, the biggest thing. And I'm preaching to the choir, but there's a lot of ignorant people, and that's what's going to destroy us. It's not going to be. It's going to be. We're going to suffer under the weight of our own ignorance, and it's our friends, it's our neighbors, it's our families, and just being around people who understand that there's a lot of serious things at stake. I mean, it is a blessing. So I love each and every one of you. But we were directed and instructed to be wise as serpents, harmless as doves, and there are a lot of snakes in the grass right now. And make no mistake, if it wasn't for you stepping up for your freedom, no one in this building would respect it. If you didn't stand up and demand your freedom, do you really think Governor Reynolds would have respected it as much? No, the politicians, they need to hear from you.
Phone calls and emails.
Phone calls and emails, they need to hear from you. If you don't stand up for your freedom, they will take it away. The only reason why we don't have police officers going door to door confiscating weapons is because they don't have the votes to pass that. The reason why we don't have mandatory vaccines right now, why we still do have our cherished exemptions, is because the Democrats aren't in control of the House. And because, thank God, the Republicans, we have our eye on them. Now, as soon as we take our eyes off of them, and they'll stab us in the back as quickly as anything. I mean, make no mistake, on the national level, what is the difference between these two parties? But thankfully, we at least have a few people who believe in freedom, a few fellow legislators who are willing to stick out their neck and say things that are truthful, that are willing to stand up for the freedom of the people, that realize we have a great country here. And if we don't honor it, if we don't cherish it, if we don't realize what it means to be free, to respect human liberty as human beings, we're not going to take it anymore. Nobody should be taking these things for granted. 4th of July is going to be a much different celebration this year, but celebrate it well, because our freedom, that is sacred. Your health is sacred. Your personal ability to make healthcare decisions for yourself, that is a sacred right that must be cherished. Do not let anyone take that away from you.
Woo!
And if they try, because we say the media, they think you're so stupid. And I see so many smart, brave, courageous people out there, but the media, the way they beat their chest, oh, nothing can get back to normal until there's a vaccine. You know, we've heard the political leaders say it. We've heard the media say it ad nauseum until it's accepted as a basic truth. It doesn't matter that this vaccine doesn't exist. It's probably impossible to develop a safe vaccine. It's hardly going to work anyway, and this virus isn't even killing anybody. They must think you're really stupid. So make no mistake. If we don't fix this, if we don't start respecting freedom and liberty, it will be on you to alter and abolish it. And who knows, maybe our brothers and sisters in Black Lives Matter and Antifa, we got to find out a way to collaborate. But if there are some institutions that are disrespecting human dignity, they got to go.
That's right.
And speaking of altering and abolishing, I was reading the code section for the Department of Public Health. And oh my goodness, how have we let this happen where we've just resigned all responsibility to these unelected bureaucrats, these self-congratulatory scientists? I mean, it's just so amazing, these people. They can't even figure out the difference between a man and a woman, yet they're trying to lecture us and run our lives based on their health theories of virus transmission. None of this makes any sense. We need to laugh at these people. And so anyway, we have a lot of important things. I really appreciate the opportunity to express myself. It's difficult sometimes because not everyone, I guess, appreciates freedom. But what does it mean to be human? That's what we have to answer, is what does it mean to be human? And we are human beings. And right now, I see a whole crowd of brave, courageous human beings who are taking their health into their own hands, who believe in liberty, who have faith in themselves, faith in God. That's what's going to give us peace. That's what will give us health. So thank you all for being here. I hope you all make it in the building today, and we have a lot of work to do. So thank you all again. Thank you to Bree and Informed Choice and everyone who put this together. It is remarkable, and this is what it's going to take. If you aren't here, you are the thin line of freedom, so don't forget that. So go home, say your prayers, ask for God's help. We're in this together. I love you all.
Thank you. All right.